long and overdue. My essentials and equipment and tools I use for my round 2 mega BBL with chin lipo and arm lipo. Okay, stay tuned. I will say this, overall, this is my disclaimer. Be confident in your choice, pray about it, consult with loving family, people that you know support you, whether you're wrong or right, but yet give you the real deal. Preparing before you leave for surgery. Okay, you want to make sure you have for real is your passport. Okay, do not let the coordinators tell you, okay, you just need your ID or your birth certificate, things like that. You just don't want to take those chances right now. Make sure you got your passport. Okay. All right, and then years ago, like way before things have gotten so hostile about traveling and the restrictions from coming into the United States, that was really always a requirement anyway. If you went to any other neighboring country, any other country around the world, you needed to have your passport. So just apply that same rule and don't think twice about it. Just go ahead and purchase your plane ticket. If you already know what surgeon you're going to, set up your passport appointment. I will say I live in the state of Arkansas, where we are the actual headquarters for Passport. Passport headquarters is right up the street. Okay, so I was very blessed with that because all I had to do was get my ticket and make an expedited appointment. So when I made the expedited appointment, they got me my passport in 4 days. I only paid an additional $125 to get my passport sent to me within less than a week. Okay, it is a little bit different when you are trying to order it through U.S. Postal Service or FedEx. They do charge an additional federal fee. So do be mindful of that. So if you know 6 months ahead of time that you're planning to go out the country to get surgery, just go ahead and make sure you already have your plane ticket and start preparing to get that so that you also can get it at the right time, but yet so you'll be prepared for those fees. Okay. Also, you have to bring cash where I was having surgery. They want the US dollars. Okay, it's valuable there. They do not want you to come bring your money and try to transfer it there. First of all, they don't want you to go through that headache of trying to transfer your money, and so you definitely have to be prepared to make sure you take your money out ahead of time. Make sure you put it in a safe place. I had my money divided up from the money that goes to my surgeon and to my nurses, the money that was separated from my recovery house, and the money that was separated for like my faja and my medicine. I put those in separate envelopes, and I will talk about that a little more about when I got to the recovery house, just to make sure that I had that safe. Okay. I did take a companion. My sister went with me, which was great. I suggest if you're getting any type of plastic surgery, I understand that some of you all don't mind traveling on your own. You don't mind doing things. You want to do stuff by yourself, and that's okay. That's okay. But if you're going out the country, you're going to unfamiliar territory. Okay. Not to say that you also have to worry about surgical risks, but you just want to make sure that you have a loving, caring person to be there for you, okay? Especially within that first 48 hours of you going to surgery, okay? So with that, before I left, I made sure by my bed before I got there, because I understood I was going to be sore. I understood that I wasn't going to be able to move around as much because like I said, I've already had a BBL prior to 6 or 7 years ago. So I already kind of understood that I'm gonna be moving around pretty slow and I'm gonna be pretty achy. So everything needs to be accessible to me. So make sure, just like they say, the saying of nesting for your new baby coming, you wanna nest for yourself when you're about to be back home bedside, okay? Very simple. So one thing that I made sure that was by my bed, I moved my fan tower. I do have a fiance, and we are very hands-on with our daughter. So we did write down some and kind of sent text messages of some things that we would work on handling, as far as like pickup, daycare. Very just want to make sure you got some support there, because you're gonna be sore. Okay, you're gonna be sore. I mean, you know it. It's like though. It's like you're basically being stabbed. Okay, so and you're gonna be very swollen. All right, so you want to make sure you have your nesting area ready bedside. Okay, so now when you get home and you're ready, you get off the plane, or if you're driving, okay, once you got the car and you know within that first 12 hours, no matter if you come in the morning, come back home in the morning or at night, you're gonna be ready to lay down. You're gonna want to already be in your faja and ready to just actually stretch out in your bed, breathe in your own air, smell your own fragrances, be in your own pillow. You want to already make sure you have that set up. Okay, just off bat, just be ready. Okay, I am a licensed educator and I am a licensed esthetician. I also am a competitive athlete, so a lot of health and recovery is a big focus for me. So I'm coming to give you some knowledge and some gems that I know for sure sped my recovery up. I'm talking about 6 and 7 days. Yeah, I was a little achy, but I was up moving around, picking up stuff, picking my baby up, okay, driving within 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm coming from an actual, I'm certified, experienced, and I'm coming to you to help make your process a little bit easy too. Okay, things that you would love to have by your bedside. Okay, this was a technique that I just kind of learned, that I thought was easy for me. You are going to be going back and forth to your bathroom and showering, changing your faja. Okay, you're gonna have to be changing your bandages and your gauze and your tape. Okay, so you want to have you like a handy pack. Okay, this is just like a Nike Elite. It's really like a cooler. Okay, but I put the medications that I know that I'm gonna need. So I already had like my extra Tylenol and ibuprofen, but I'm not taking the ibuprofen right now. I won't start taking ibuprofen till after 6 weeks, if that. So I just kind of had that in there as for protocol. Okay, within there, I took this with me on a trip, but I had my arnica pills. Okay, and then I have like my extra pads. Okay, I had like things for like menstrual cramps, Midol. I had pretty much the necessities that you want to have by your bed. You're gonna put also the medication your doctor gives you. You want to put that in there. Okay, you want to sit there maybe on a nightstand, sit it on a nightstand by your bed. Okay, it just makes it easier access. Don't try to go storing your medicine back in your kitchen or putting it off on the table, leaving it in your bag. Things to be accessible and easy for you. Okay, to get. Okay. So another post and pre and post item that you probably want to purchase is get you a couple of the squeeze ice packs. I got about 6 or 7 of these. I took 4 with me to surgery to Mexico, and I kept another. How many did I have? Did I have 7? I believe I had 7. So because I know I had three here already post-side. And so I have this one left because I've already used 2 since I've been back. Okay, so that was another thing that was very handy. This was right by my bed. Keep you a stack of bottled water. Keep it by your bed. Drink as much water, because every time you get up and go pee, that's lymphatic drainage. Okay. All right, so that's something that you want to do before you leave. Okay. Make sure you already got your bed and stuff made up, all that. If you want to put your extra padding down. Now, depending on how many days you're staying at your surgery site, will depend on how you want to pad your actual home bed. But for me, I stayed in a recovery house and I stayed 9 days. I was gonna stay a little bit longer, but I knew since I was getting a technique called J Plasma, and I was going to also be in the hyperbaric chamber. I sat in there 2 sessions, which if you go look at my shorts, you will see what the chamber looks like, and it's better recovery. So I understood that 9 days would be really good for me, and I could finish the rest of my post-care at home. Okay, so you know what you need to take. Okay, you want to make sure you use some pads, some chucks, okay, some super absorbent disposable underpants. Okay, these are the smaller ones. I didn't get the gigantic ones because I know at the recovery house they were going to have the giant ones. So I had these just for like, I could even roll these up and use these in my faja if I didn't feel like using a bunch of gauze and pads or tape. I could use these to catch the liquid, catch the lymphatic fluid. I use that for that. I use it to be able to sit on my BBL pillow. When I sat on the recliner, I was able to use this when I sat on my actual bed. I just would put that up under my pillows. So these are just great to have. So I took half a stack of these with me. I packed them in my suitcase and took them to the recovery house, and the rest of them stayed here. I didn't really use that many of them when I came back home. I maybe used a few of them to actually put in my faja to be able to absorb the lymphatic fluid so it wouldn't be constantly getting on my faja. Okay, so please don't worry about packing a whole bunch of skirts and dresses. If you're gonna have something like this, use this for when you come home, like after 10 days, after the first 2 weeks. Don't try to take this with you to the recovery house. Actually, they want you to get more button-up gowns, but let me tell you, baby, you're gonna be working on recovering. Okay, these is for my ladies at the recovery house. Even if you're going home, if you're going home, okay, just get you a light robe, black preferably, in case you get stained and the bleed, And what they did was every day when I was at the recovery house, they washed this for me along with my faja, especially like right after my massages. Okay, and if you look at my shorts, you'll see where I'm getting my massages. Y'all gotta excuse it, there is like a gnat flying around here. I guess because I got fruit and stuff out. Well, no, I don't have no fruit out, but it's the summertime. That's another thing. I got my lipo in the summer, so you got to be kind of bold for that, because as you see, I'm in a full faja, and it is about 90 degrees outside. So that's another reason why you want to have a robe, because for the most part, you just want to walk around in your faja. You don't want to have to be trying to tangle with a bunch of clothes. All right. Now, definitely want to have your compression socks, okay? I had about 3 pair, white, black, tan, okay? They got them on Amazon. You get a 3-pack, 5-pack, okay? Have your compression. You will also wear these. You'll wear these for about 2 weeks, okay? For your circulation for your legs, okay? Keeps you from getting blood clots. You're gonna need those. That's really, for real, the main thing. It's a lot of other things that I bought, and I was just like, I didn't even need these, okay? Also, with your recovery and your compression, you want to make sure you have like some little footies to put over your compression socks, because you're gonna want them to keep that air blasting. So you don't want your toes and stuff to be all cold or whatever. So with that, okay, you want to have you a nice little pair of slide slippers, like all black, little comfy slide slippers with the open toe, okay? Nothing's too big. And then you want to make sure you have you some type of shower shoe, okay? Okay, because if you're going to recovery house, for me at the recovery house, my nurses help bathe me that first week. They help me with bathing, okay? And it does help because you can't really bend down and scrub down in your butt. You can't really bend down, scrub your legs. It's hard for you to get your back. So you also want to make sure you get you some like exfoliating gloves or like exfoliating towelettes. I also purchased for days where I did not want to like be trying to get out my faja like at night or something. I wanted to freshen back up. You want to get you some disposable bath sponges, okay? You get those on Amazon. Really great to have, okay? Really great. Also, Also with recovery, if you're getting ready to have your cycle, I started my cycle the next day after surgery. I was like, I could have sworn I looked on Flow and I didn't see that. Definitely want to get you some Depends. Okay, you ain't putting no tampon up in there, honey baby. Not when you just got 10 to 15 pounds snatched out the back of your back in your front of your stomach. Okay, you're not gonna be trying to put no tampon on. You're not trying to put no pad on. Just like for the girlies, if you've been in delivery and you know you're gonna need these right after you had that baby. Okay, you gotta kind of handle it. Okay, another gym that you want to definitely have pre and what's going to help you get all the way through post or before your surgery, you want to make sure you take a lot of iron. If your iron is not right, they're not going to really work on you. I think in Mexico, you had to be close to a 13. I want to say they want to do 13.5, and if not, then you have to get a blood transfusion. And I was right at a 12, and I had been drinking this for a week. I'm almost down to the half of the bottle. So I probably should have started this 2 weeks ahead, but if you go and watch a lot of surgery girls, this is a hidden gem. I want to say another famous YouTuber, Glamazante, she mentioned using a tonic. And this is actually one that I looked up on Amazon because I got tired of taking the iron tablets. Y'all know iron tablets taste like throw up. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like throw up. You pop them things in there, you hit the back of your throat. You like, what is this? So I will tell you, this is a little bit potent, but it definitely built my iron up. I could already tell after 3-4 days, because normally I'm an ice chewer. I gotta have me some crushed ice in a cup. And once I was drinking this, I noticed that craving went down. Okay. So some other things now that you want to have packed in your bag to take with you. Now, this is the antiseptic that the actual medical clinic gave me, but you definitely want to have you some antiseptic solution, but that's in a spray bottle. Okay, you're gonna spray your wounds with that before you actually start putting your bandages on. Okay, a really important one. Please take your stool softener. All you need is a generic stool softener. You want to start taking this stool softener probably the second, third day after surgery. You want to start taking this with the antibiotics and the pain pills that they give you. If you wait to the 4th day, actually by the 3rd day, you're gonna be trying to poop. Am I supposed? Can I say that on here? Your bowel's gonna be trying to go, okay? And you will feel miserable if you cannot, because I'm gonna tell you, it'll sit you on, you be on the toilet for 2 or 3 hours feeling like it's just about to come out, and it's not. It's slow. It's slow from the anesthesia. So you want to go ahead and start taking this one in the daytime and one at night, that stool softener, so that you can go ahead and get your system going, so that you can have a good movement. So, because I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna feel miserable and you're gonna feel like getting up walking, and that's going to slow down your process of recovery. Okay, because walking and moving around is what causes you to get your lymphatic system moving. Okay, another item that you want to have and bring with you. Okay, you want to get you some type of massage roller. Okay, you want to definitely have you some. There are different types of models of this. Don't try to go get you no wood roller and get you no wood therapy tools. You're gonna mess your skin up. Your skin is not gonna be ready for that. Okay, it's detached. Okay, the nerves are almost torn. Okay, they have to get back connected. Your muscles are swole to the point of it, they feel so hard and swollen. You like, is this a tire wrapped around my body? Okay, do not use a wood therapy tool. Okay, just go get you something that's got like silicone base. Okay, some type of roller. I got this at TJ Maxx for like $10. Okay, I don't even think it was $10. I think it was like $7.99. Okay, just get you one of these. Take this with you. Also bring it back. You're gonna use this probably like the 6th or 7th day on yourself when you're coming out your faja. I use mine in the shower. And I use you know, I hit the back of my arms because I didn't get arm lipo, and I get the sides and I pull it around to the back and I hit my back. So I'm basically, if you can see, I'm just basically getting in that area. Yeah, getting all up in there. I'm talking about in it, okay? Invest in one of them. There's a big misconception with BBL pillows. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Y'all see how I'm sitting on my butt right now? I'm sitting on my butt as soon as I came out of surgery. In other countries, that conception, what's not a conception? Not conception. The misconception of if you sit on your butt, you're gonna lose fat. They don't, that's not a theory of theirs, okay? First of all, I had about 17, 18 pounds removed, okay? Say what you want. Talk about, oh, standard law in America, you can only, well, that's in America, and that's because they got all these different surgery, board of certification, board, national board certified restrictions or whatnot. It's gonna be different when you go across the country. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm thankful I went across the country because I made you all this money and there's a look I want to go. But I understand when they have to balance out with your BMI. But this is a big misconception too. Because I will tell you this. The only time I use this pillow is when I sit in a recliner. Okay, when I sit back in a chair that I can recline, which they have it inside of the recovery house in your own personal room. I sat on a recliner the first day. I didn't get into the actual bed until day 3. But also, too, I stayed in the hospital. And they showered me, put me in my faja, all that good stuff there. They had me wrapped up like a mummy, okay? I did not sit on my stomach. I didn't lay on my stomach. If I would have laid on my stomach, how much I'm lipo, like, I can kind of see my abs, okay? I ain't gonna lie, okay? I can kind of see my abs. It would have not been comfortable at all, no matter how much pillow padding or whatever. But I did go down to Mexico before my surgery and think, I ain't gonna be able to sit on this. So I'm gonna make sure I got some pillows. So basically, I did take a lot of pillows. Well, this one particularly. So you're gonna need this if you're sitting in a recliner. Okay, and then what they do is they put extra pillows behind you. I also had a pillow from my pregnancy that I use, but that's not something you gotta have. It's just a pillow that I still had from my pregnancy, so I kind of improvised and put it behind my back, and it worked. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm feeling kind of good putting this behind my back. I'm sitting up, I'm like, oh, I can get some rest. And by the time they fed me and I took my little pain pills and my antibiotics, honey, I was getting the best sleep. That is another thing that's going to speed up your recovery. How comfortable you sleep. If you get adequate amount of sleep. If you're not sleeping good, okay, that's just like with anything. You can't expect your body to go into recovery mode. It's just not going to do it. Not as fast as you want. It's going to take some more longer time. That is probably why when my first session, it took me a little bit longer to recover. And I didn't even get that much fat taken out. So, clock it. Okay, so now this is my hidden gem. Okay. I packed these in my bag, but they were still air compressed from when I got them shipped to me. And I will drop this. This is going to be in my Amazon storefront. Now, originally, I was under the impression that I was going to be sleeping on my stomach a month before my surgery. So I had already had in my cart this pillow that's almost like if you go to the masseuse and they rotate you over to massage your back. There is a type of pillow that's made like that has a hole where you can sit your face in, and then it elevates your stomach and your chest so that you're not just smushed in the bed. Because even if you stuff 1,000 pillows up under your body or whatnot, just the gravity and the weight of your body, eventually you're gonna kind of your body's gonna flatline out to where it's straightened and you're not having an elevation to make it easy on your spine. I am not a back or stomach sleeper. I like to sleep on my side. I like to either sleep on my left side or my right side. If you do research, it's actually healthy for you to sleep on your left side or your right side. It helps with the blood flow from your arteries into your heart. Okay, definitely look that up. Okay, it's the truth. Sleeping on your back too long, you know you putting pressure on that back of that spine, especially if you know you're a little muscular, or you know that you're a little more heavier in the hips and the waist. Sleeping on your back a lot, it's not good. But when you have surgery and you can't rotate to your side, and you know it's hard for you to sleep on your front, and then they're telling me I can sleep on my behind, I was not worried about losing no fat, because after I sat on my butt that night before, or the night of surgery in the hospital, and all they had was 2 or 3 pillows up under my knees and below my back, my waist, I was like, okay, great. I ordered the right pillow. So a month before surgery, I had that type of pillow to sleep on my stomach with the hole in the pillow, and your face goes inside of it like you get a massage. So apparently, I don't know, it's like something they ran out of it or something. So I had asked my surgeon coordinator, I was like, do I need this type of pillow to be able to lay on my stomach? And she was just like, no, you just need some regular pillows. Like, we're not gonna lay you on your stomach, just being honest. So I found these 2 wedge pillows that I am actually going to have in my Amazon storefront. When I tell you this was my holy grail to recovery, I slept like a baby the 3rd day I got in the actual bed at the recovery house. I prepped my bed so good. All I had to do was take this out the plastic. It instantly aired up, and I set it on the bed to where I knew I was gonna be sleeping. And every night they were there in place, and I just crawled on the top part and wedged myself in between. And then I had 2 pillows. So what you do is, when you put this in your bed, your legs are gonna go over the larger slope, right? So basically it's creating this lift. It's creating this lift where your butt is not on the bed. Like, amazing. This kept the sturdiness. It's still sturdy. I'm still sleeping on this till today, and I have 4 weeks post-op on Friday, okay? I'm getting good sleep. I don't have a lot of pressure on my behind at all, if any. Now I'm getting to the point where I can actually rotate to my right side or rotate to my left side, and my hips and my behind are still lifted off the bed, okay? This is a great investment, okay? Even what I do is I put 2 more pillows behind my back that lead up to my neck and my head, and I elevate myself there. And it's almost like you're in a recliner in your... Okay, so if you can see, I have the pillows lined up. And like I said, I am still sleeping like this till this day. And I'm going to be 4 weeks on Friday post-op. And when I tell you I sleep like a baby. Now, I will say, once some of that swelling wears off, and you just start feeling the actual lipo, this pillow, you will kind of have to keep adjusting it up under your spine a little more, like in your lower part of your waist. You don't want it too tight, because then it's going to smush your butt, but you definitely want it comfortable where this is like right up under your spine, where your spine meets your tailbone. And you want your legs to be hanging off of this, and you want your bottom to just really be hanging off the edge. When I tell you, you're going to sleep so much better, okay? And you ain't got to worry about the pressure on your spine, okay? So I will be dropping these in my Amazon storefront. Okay, so another item that you definitely want to invest in, which I am sitting on right now, is you want to definitely get your bobby pillow, okay? I started sitting on my bobby pillow about 5 days after I got home. For the most part, I just kind of walked around the house. I kind of stood up, and then if I was ready to sit down, I got back in my bed and sat on my wedge pillows. But once I was ready to like sit in the living room, sit at my desk chair, I went on and started sitting on my bobby pillow, okay? This is also going to be on my Amazon storefront. If you want to travel with your bobby pillow and you want to already have it there with you, that's great too. If you don't want to have to do the BBL pillow, but I feel like the bobby pillow is more for when you're like 2 weeks post-op, 2-3 weeks post that you would use, but not using wood tools for massages. I stayed in a recovery house because also too I paid for my massages there, so I got a massage every day. Okay, you want to at least get 10 massages, and then you want to keep getting your massages at least for the next month and a half. Like you at least want to get like 15 to 15. I think 20, like you get 20 of them, like yeah, you pretty much, that lymphatic fluid gonna be gone. Okay, but this is a great item. I have like a series of these, but I use this one specifically. I did take this with me to the recovery house, and this was more for like my chin. So I use this to massage my chin. I got like my arnica gel, and I would rub that into my chin area. As you can see, a lot of my fluid in my chin is going down. This side healed a lot faster than this side. I'm still a little bit swollen, and then I also have a lot of fluid that's kind of breaking up in little small chunks, and it's kind of like I can feel myself swallowing or spitting it up. If you get chin lipo, you will notice like when you go to sleep at night, you'll start getting some coughing. That's a good sign. Okay, depending on your doctor, if you getting chin lipo, but you know, we got the country, they didn't have all these fancy garments for your face and stuff like that. They told me just to go purchase me any type of little chin faja. I got this chin faja like out of my local store for like $3.99. And what I noticed is, since I did have my hair braided, I'm not gonna put this on right now because I don't got my bonnet on, because the Velcro will get attached in your hair, so you got to be careful with that. So I would definitely have some type of hair bonnet on or some type of head scarf, then put on your chin faja. Okay, so also too, I only really use this like when I'm traveling, but at the first 4 or 5 days I used it a lot right after surgery. So directly after surgery, when I got in my faja, I used a urinal. So you definitely want to purchase one of these because you ain't gonna really be wanting to sit down and pee. You really ain't gonna be able to, unless you're somewhere in a recovery house where they have like the padded seats or they got the walker and you can have someone assist and hold you. But for the most part, you're not gonna want to do no bending and stretching. And when you're on a plane, if you're flying back, you want to put this in your carry-on with you. Put this in your purse. I took a nice size open bag. You got a never full. If you got some type of bag that's open space and just has the actual handles and stuff, keep your passport, your urinal, keep you a couple wipes. I put the disposable, I took a couple of these out and put it in a separate bag. I put these inside of, I folded me a couple of them up and put them inside of my purse to take on the plane with me, you know, in case while I'm trying to use the bathroom, you be on a plane, the movement, or even if you're just driving in a car or whatnot, you just kind of want to have those things with you. And also too, I used it if I need to clean or wipe this down and put it away. If you want to purchase extra baby wipes, I was in Mexico, so you can't do a lot of flushing tissue and wipes and things in a toilet. So a lot of times, using like good wipes and disposable types of cloth is good to Now, let me tell you, this is getting down to the wire, okay? I've used so much of this. You are going to need to purchase your own gauze, okay? They will have this in a recovery house, but for the girlies, if you're going home right after surgery, you probably want to get 2-3 rolls of this, okay? Because you're going to need to dress your incisions so that they can stay dry, they don't get a lot of moisture, and that fluid can be absorbed, okay? When you're cutting these, I normally cut like a piece folded, and I do that for each incision. I have 2 incisions, which they have healed up like completely. Like they look like little bitty scabs. which is really cool. So so thankful about that. Then I have an incision at the bottom of my butt that's pretty much closed up too. It's like small, looks like a little scab. I put waterproof tape over that. I will put that in here. I did not grab that, but that is something that I think you should invest in. I may drop another video about that later, but you definitely want to have your gauze, and you want to get you some gauze tape, especially for the first 2 weeks. Okay, that is also where your pads come in place. You're going to put your pads over your gauze, over your incisions, and you're going to put the sticky side, of course, outside, okay? And you're going to let the pad sit over the gauze so it can absorb that lymphatic fluid. I normally put about 3 of these across. I did that for the first week when I came home. But at the recovery house, I pretty much imitated how my nurses padded me up every day when I was getting back in my faja. So you want to have a lot of these. I got these at the dollar store. I didn't get my fancy Tampax pearls. I just went on and got these from the dollar store because I just knew that they were going to be for catching that liquid and not getting everywhere. Okay, so you're gonna need like probably 3 packs of those. You gotta trust the process. You gotta take your time with it. And so I'm just really hoping that some of these items that I shared with you all today makes your packing experience a little more smoother, and that you get more excited instead of being overwhelmed like, oh my gosh, what do I take, what do I need, what do I not need. Now, you know, as far as like your essential stuff like soap, don't be trying to take a whole bunch of fragrant soap. Don't do that. Just take you some nice yellow down soap, okay? Take you some nice Vaseline, okay? Especially for my melanated sisters, okay? Baby lotion, anything with a lot of water products and stuff. Your body is really wanting hydration, and keep that hydration in skin. It just went through surgery. Your skin just went through change. Like I told you, I'm a licensed esthetician. That means I'm licensed in the skin. So definitely keep your moisture as far as like getting you some Vaseline. If you're going to recovery house, ask your nurses to put your Vaseline on your feet, on your legs. They will rub you down, give you a massage. They love doing that. They love helping you. At least for the recovery house that I went to. My nurses were great. Too, so if you're thinking about booking your surgery, think about these things as far as like season, the type of skin, the type of procedure you're getting. Think about your budget. I will say with my budget, with everything that I've got, I did stay under $236 and about 15 cents. Yes, I was doing my tallying. And that's pretty much from what I shared within this video. There were a couple add-ons that I got later on, but that was just something that I commonly do for my own routine. Like for instance, I went and got some facial mask. I went and got additional under eye patches. I went and got some lip patches just for my skincare. I did get like my feet and stuff done before I went to surgery because I knew it was gonna be a minute, probably gonna be a couple weeks before I could sit in a chair and get my feet and stuff done, so, and my hands done. So I hope this helps, and I look forward to sharing some more content with you all and showing y'all my process throughout this journey.